My name is Peggy Ahwesh, and I'm happy to be here at Spike Island with my show, Vision Machines. So the show consists of a number of works that are recent, that are installation works. There's some that are video sculptures, stacks, and a two-channel synced work, and then also contains a lot of earlier works of mine that are single-channel videos. So the earliest work, perhaps, is The Scary Movie from 1993, which is a black and white movie shot originally on Super 8 and being projected here as on video. And then the most recent work is Verily, the Blackest Sea, the Falling Sky, which is from 2019. I've made a number of pieces in the last several years based on a database that I found on YouTube, which is a Taiwanese company that makes animated news. And originally I was teaching a class at Bard, where I taught for many years, on the reenactment and the remake. And I was searching around on YouTube for interesting examples of things, and I fell upon an animated version of the Trayvon Martin killing in Florida by George Zimmerman, done as very low-res CGI animation. And I was like, this is an incredible philosophical and political oddity here, where something so vital as a news item is kind of reduced in a way to CGI animation and then represented as a comic book, really. And so I use it in my class, and I started to explore that database, and I've made a number of works about it. Lessons of War consists of episodes from the 2014 incursion of Israel into Gaza. And I chose these different episodes. They're newsworthy items, and I use the database of the Taiwanese animators with their low-end CGI to sort of tell these stories. One is about a town in southern Israel where the young people, they set up lounge chairs and they had binoculars and they were watching the bombs fall on Gaza. Another one is an attack that decimated a very tall office building that was a civilian location, had nothing to do with the military. And it was brought down. So that's one story is about that. One story is about there were 4 boys that were on the seaside near the water in Gaza playing, and they were hit by an Israeli bomb and they all died. The Blackest Sea features, there's a quote at the beginning by Herman Melville, and it's about the whale, the hubris of the human to try to conquer the whale and the sea. And it's about that, in a sense, of the folly of the human, the folly in contemporary culture to try to control nature, and also the politics of controlling populations of people and stopping migration, the violence of war, and the migrants on the sea. So it's a relationship of the humans to the sea in that sense too. I don't shy away from these contemporary disasters that we've generated, and I kind of feel like we've been in this kind of dire historical moment that needs to be examined and recorded. So the other side of the screen is The Falling Sky, and that, in a sense, is themed around surveillance, humans controlling other humans, airwaves, the sort of invisible, the Google truck who's monitoring various people's houses, airport security, and kind of the tension around the state and state control and the individual. So also not an easy piece. They both have actual footage in them of actual events. And in a way they're kind of coded because they're done with the CGI. So you might not recognize the little Syrian boy who washed up on the beach and died when his family was trying to cross the ocean. But somehow unconsciously, maybe you recognize it. So I play with those tropes of the news and then comment on our distance from them in our world of virtuality, and the distance that we appreciate because it's hard to see, we appreciate it. And also it's a relief in a way not to have to deal with certain things. The piece doesn't solve these problems, it raises them as issues. It raises the issues. And my hope is that I've documented a certain period of time from like the Trump era, maybe 2016, 2018. And my hope is that it's a record of that moment, and that as time goes on, our reflection back will inform our reflections forward, and that perhaps the piece will register in certain deep ways as we move forward. And I'm like, for me, 20 years from now, I'd like to look at this piece and see how it registers about where we were and where we got to, and maybe where we are going.